1, 2. What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to a Champions League preview here on Anfield Agenda. I was nearly going to say welcome along to a Champions Agenda, which probably would have worked as well, to be honest with you. But how are we? Looking forward to this one, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to give you a little bit of information on our history of Porto. Then I'm going to delve into the team that I think Jurgen Klopp will put out. It's different to the team that I would put out, but let's go with the team I think Klopp will put out. And then we'll have a little bit of fun after that. How does that work for everyone? So if you're watching this back later on, first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, going to be exactly what you're looking for. The rest is going to be me chatting with the live chat because that's what we do here at Anfield Agenda. So look, before we kick off, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, this show, like many shows here at Anfield Agenda, are being brought to you with thanks to our friends at manscaped.com. This Friday, the manscaped.com Black Friday sale is going to be kicking in with 25% off everything store-wide. You can also get 20% off and free shipping using our discount code WFM20, and that'll get you, as I said, free shipping and 20% off on anything on the store. So look, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of our history, shall we say, with Porto. So let's have a look at their recent results. So the last game Porto played was actually a Portuguese Cup game where they convincingly won the game 5-1 against Ferenc. So handy enough game for them in that. And if you look at their results with regard to the league table in Portugal, you'll see that they're sitting right on top of it as well, just ahead of Sporting. They're 29 points, joint top after 11 games with Sporting. So you look at that and you think to yourself, right, they're in a great vein of form. They're after winning 5-1 in the Portuguese Cup. They're sitting top of the Portuguese Primeira Division. And then you think to yourself, God, is this going to be a difficult game? Well, if you look at the history between Liverpool and Porto, the answer is no, it shouldn't be, because in the 7 meetings that we've had with Porto, 2 of them in the old UEFA Cup, 5 of them in the Champions League, or maybe more in the Champions League. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? More in the Champions League, sorry. We've never lost. So, first time we played them was in March 2001. Liverpool beat Porto, or drew 0-0 with Porto, excuse me. Next time was the 15th of March, again in the UEFA Cup. Liverpool beat them 2-0. The best results Porto have had against us are draws. We've never ever lost a game to Porto in European competition. You know, you'll remember the 5-1 thumping we gave them recently as well at the Estadio de Dragão in Porto. Sadio Mane loves travelling over to Porto for goals. So yeah, look, the omens are good for Liverpool with this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 victories over Porto in European competition and 2 draws and absolutely no losses. So is there anything to fear with this Porto team? Well, yes, there is, because they are a good side. History is written by the victors, we know this, but each team evolves. And look, our record against Porto is great. They will know the record. They will want to come and get a result, because don't forget, we're through. We're top of the Champions League group, but Porto have a lot to play for because they're still battling at Letty for that second place. So I don't know where I am emotionally in this one, ladies and gentlemen, because I never ever want Liverpool to lose a game of football. Never will. But the idea of Porto getting somewhat of a result and Atleti going into the Europa League, I won't lie to you, it does make me happy. Gives me a little tingle. But that being said, I have gone full-on professional here. So let's have a look at the predicted 11 that I think Jurgen Klopp will pick. And again, we'll go with the score predictions as well. So just a reminder, played each other 8 times in European competition, 6 victories for Liverpool, 2 draws, 2 of those games in the UEFA Cup, 6 of them in the Champions League. And as I said, pretty much a perfect record for Liverpool. So look, let's have a look at my predicted 11 and we'll go from there and see what you guys think. Right, so as you can see, I've gone for a 2-1 win for Liverpool. That's my score prediction. I can't bring myself to predict a draw even. I can't. It could well be a draw, but I can't bring myself to predict it because I only ever predict Liverpool wins when we're at home. But the team that I believe Jurgen Klopp will go with looks a little something like this. I know a lot of people will want Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. I want Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. But Jurgen Klopp doesn't seem to have the same thought process that you and I and most Liverpool fans have around this tie, i.e. it's a dead rubber. He'll want the £2.5 million. People will get angry about this, and I understand it. I want Caoimhín to play in goal. In fact, if I was to predict 11 for the game, it wouldn't look like this. I would change the 11 completely. So I think Jurgen Klopp will go relatively strong, and I think he will play Alisson in goal. I hope I'm wrong. Origi isn't injured, by the way. Origi was ill That's why he missed the last game. I see somebody in the chat trying to give me loads of exclamation points to tell me that Origi's injured. He was ill, which is why he missed the last game. Alisson in goal for me in this one. Nico Williams at right back. Kostas Tsimikas to remain at left back, even though I believe Robertson will be back available. I think keep Kostas in there, give him another run out. Centre back pairing, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate for me. I think, again, not the centre back pairing I would go with, because I would make a whole host of changes. But I think Jurgen Klopp is going to go relatively strong in this one and try and get the win. So I think Ibrahima Konate alongside Virgil van Dijk, obviously giving Joel Matip a rest ahead of the game against Southampton at the weekend, because getting Joel to play 3 games in a week is probably asking a little bit too much. So my back four there: Nico Williams, Kostas Tsimikas, Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Fabinho in the holding midfield role, and Henderson to the right of him with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to the left. Then up top, I would put Takumi Minamino on the left-hand side. Origi, if he's fit and available, I would have him through the centre, and then Mohamed Salah on the right-hand side. I would give Sadio a rest, and I wouldn't risk Diogo Jota. The reason I say I wouldn't risk Diogo Jota is I know that he continued on after the tackle the other day with the Arsenal keeper, that the two of them went down injured. Thankfully both got up and carried on, but I would just rest Jota. Better to be safe with the African Cup of Nations coming up. The fact Bobby Firmino's already injured, I don't want us to pick up any more injuries. So that's the 11 that I would go with. Or excuse me, no it's not. It absolutely is not. That's the 11 that I think Jurgen Klopp will go with. And I think that 11 gets a job done against Porto, I do. And I think, look, have a couple of the boys on the bench just in case. But for me, that team gets a win. The only position in that team that I really get nervous about is playing Fabinho. I'd be all for playing Tyler Morton. If it was Craig would play Tyler Morton. But Jurgen Klopp, I think, will go with the tried and tested. I think he'll go with Fabinho. So look, that's the 11 that I think Klopp will pick. I can give you off the top of my head the 11 that I would pick. If I'm to just do it off the top of my head, I'd have Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. I would keep the back four as it is, actually. You know, I might bring in another change at centre back, but let's just say, for argument's sake, keep the back four as it is. I'd have Tyler Morton. I would keep Jordan Henderson in there. And alongside them, I would keep Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, actually, because I think continuity for him is good at this moment in time. Then up top, yes, I'd have Minamino. Yes, I'd have Origi. But I would go with Cade Gordon on the right-hand side. I know it's a big occasion. I know he's still a very young lad. But I don't want to risk any of these boys. I don't want to risk them when it's unnecessary to do so. But I think Klopp will £1 to £2.5 million. So I think he'll go with a bit of a stronger team. So look, I'm going to switch back scenes now. I'm going to go over and see what you guys think about the 11 that I've predicted, and see what your thoughts are ahead of the game against Porto on Wednesday night. Now, a few little notes just to go back over. So tomorrow night I'll be doing a watch along of the Villarreal Manchester United game on what used to be Mundo Sporto, that became Craig Station, that is now gone back to Mundo Sporto. So just in case anybody's wondering, Mundo Sporto is back. I'll be doing a watch along of that tomorrow. Villarreal Manchester United. Tonight at 8:45, I'm going to be joined by Steve Bland and James Redmond for my favourite show of the week, the Cop of the Week show. So that'll be on tonight at 8:45. If you're going to head off at this point, if you just came in for the predictions, there you go. I'm going to go to the live chat now and do an extra 10 or 15 minutes over here and see how everyone's feeling. What have we got? Rest our front three. Well, yes, pretty much, but I think we will play one of them. So I went with Mohamed Salah, the offensive defender. Look, I would make a whole raft of changes. I would play Caoimhín in goal. But yeah, I think he's going to go relatively strong. And I think, you know, he spoke previously about the Midtjylland tie, where Diogo Jota got injured, and he spoke about why people wanted a whole raft of changes there. And then he basically said, look, they wanted the £2.5 million, so they went out to win the game. Liz, thank you for the super chat. Said, hi Anfield Agenda peeps, hope all is well. All is good, thank you Liz, and I hope all is well with you as well. Look, Hamza, it's all very well and good. I would play Tyler Morton, mate. Yes, no doubt about it. But I don't think, this is what I think Klopp will do. I would make a load of changes. I would bring in Tyler Morton. Absolutely, no problem. Kelleher, Gomez, Konate, Nico, Tsimikas, Morton, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Hendo, Takumi Minamino, Origi and Gordon is what Mr. Chowdhury wants. Craig, what's your score prediction? 2-1. I think we'll beat them 2-1. You know, if we go relatively strong, could be better than that. And for those coming in a little bit late, our record against Porto in European competition, almost flawless. Played each other 8 times, 2 of those in the old UEFA Cup, 6 of them in the Champions League, and it's 6 wins and 2 draws. So no losses for Liverpool against Porto. And again, Porto coming into this game off the back of a 5-1 victory in the Portuguese Cup at the weekend, and they currently sit joint top of the Portuguese Primeira Division with, I think it's Sporting, if my memory's right, on 21 points. So coming into the game, they're in good form. And look, they are in a fight in this group. It's between themselves and Atleti, realistically, for the second place. How great is it knowing that already at this stage of the Champions League, from just the 4 games we're through and we're top in the group? I mean, the lads deserve a massive pat on the back for that, because this was mentioned as a potential group of death. Don't forget when the draw was made, and we've made it look so easy. So fair play to Jurgen Klopp and the lads. It's a dream scenario for us to be 4 games in and top in the group, because we know our form in the Champions League away from home in years gone by hasn't been that great, but they have righted it this year, and I think it's right that we give them the plaudits for that. Ball McPrebin said Bradley at right back. Look, I think Conor Bradley is a fine player, but I think Nico Williams is ahead of Conor Bradley at this moment in time in the pecking order. But interestingly enough, there is an argument to say we could potentially see the 2 of them, because let's not forget, there was a piece, I think, I don't know if it was the Athletic or the Echo, a few weeks ago that suggested that that Nico Williams could be used in Mohamed Salah's position, in a more advanced role over the January AFCON. So I don't know if maybe we'll see both at some point. Like in the League Cup, if you remember, we brought Conor Bradley on and Nico Williams went further forward and Conor Bradley tucked in at right back. And again, it worked out. We scored an extra goal after that happened, and both of them put in a good shift. So look, I fully believe in Conor Bradley, and if Conor Bradley plays, I'll be absolutely delighted. Same as I'd like to see Nico play, because in fairness to Nico Williams, I think he's looked very good. He's looked excellent on international duty with Wales, and I think he's looked very good in the few cameos he's had for us. So I'm not against it at all. Risking injury to first team players is crazy, knowing our luck, said Jeff. It is, Jeff, but this is what the gaffer does in these scenarios. You know what I mean? We only have to look at the Midtjylland case study of the fact that we didn't need the points, dead rubber, but they still wanted the money, so they played some strong players and Diogo Jota got injured. The history is there. We know what's going to happen. So it's all very well and good, me, you, and everybody else in here saying, go weak, which I would agree with. Common sense would say, go weak. Who gives a shit what the result is? Go weak. But Jurgen Klopp will speak about having to make sure that he gives everybody a sporting chance in the group, talking about doing the right things. He'll say everything to just disguise the fact that it's basically the club that wanted £2.5 million. Because deep down, me, Klopp, you guys in the chat, we might not want to admit it, but we would love Atletico Madrid to get dumped out of the Champions League because of the snidiness over the 2 legs. So I'd be all for going and playing a goalless draw or a board draw here against Porto and giving them a little helping hand. But I don't think that's the way the gaffer will go. Craig, I always watch your live shows, love your channel. Can I be a moderator? Don't need any extra mods at the minute, my man, but I will keep you in mind for the future, and thank you very much. Wales Football TV, can you fuck off asking the same question every time you come in, mate? Is Nico choosing money over playing regular football? Ask him. I haven't got a clue what Nico Williams is doing. I'm not Nico Williams. And you ask this question every single stream about Nico Williams, mate. You're supposed to be Wales Football TV. Surely you've got your finger on the pulse of all things Wales then. You ask Nico Williams, is he choosing regular, or is he choosing money over regular first team football? Because for me, he's learning off the best right back in the world. He's playing at the best football club in the world under, in my opinion, the best manager in the world, in front of the best fans in the world. So I won't have a bad word said about the club, mate, nor will I have a bad word said about Nico Williams. I love Nico Williams, and I hope that he progresses. But if Nico Williams, like was suggested in the summer, comes to the manager and says, Gaffer, I'd like to move on, I'm not getting enough playing time, I think we'll all understand that. But don't go calling the lad greedy, or don't go insinuating that he's greedy. He's not greedy. He's learning his trade. And if Nico wants a move, he'll get a move. But you're supposed to be Wales Football Fan TV. And you're basically insinuating that one of your boys is being greedy. You're dressing it up in a way that you're trying to make out like he's not. But you're saying, is he? Choose every poxy stream, lad. Every stream you're asking the same question. Ask him, because I like him. I'm not going to run him down, and you shouldn't be doing it either. Do you know when James Milner will be back? I believe he's in contention, Jake. I believe he is in contention. Ben said, evening, Craig. Do you think Morton will get any minutes? Yes, I do, Ben. I'd start him, my man. I'd absolutely start him. But I would say that we will most likely see a scenario where Tyler Morton will get some minutes, yeah. I mean, you see, what a moment it was, by the way, for Tyler Morton. I keep bringing this up, but I can only imagine what it must have felt like to be Tyler Morton there against Arsenal at the weekend and be standing on the sideline waiting to come on, knowing you're coming on and you're all hyped up, and then you see that the manager is entrusting you to come on and replace Thiago. That must be such a wonderful moment for the lad. A massive, confidence boost to know that the manager thinks of you as a possible successor to Thiago Alcantara. That's class. It's great management, by the way, from Jurgen Klopp as well. Jay said, is Salah choosing money over regular second league football? Well played, Jay. I love, see, that's the type of shithousery, Jay, I can get on board with. Wales Football Fan TV, I'd like to give people a chance for a rebuttal, mate. So you've said some Wales players choose money over regular football, like Danny Ward at Leicester. Is happy to be second choice. I would know, how would I say this? I don't know if Danny Ward went to Leicester thinking he was always going to be second choice. I don't know that. I know that there was a lot of rumours suggesting that when he was at Liverpool, he was giving the team news to the taxi driver or the driver that brought him to Anfield each week. So I don't know if Liverpool were looking to move Danny Ward out. So I can't really speak about his decision making about why he left Liverpool. But I just wonder, Wales Football TV, if he went to Leicester and he actually thought that he could fight it out with Kasper Schmeichel. I don't know. But look, I'm an Irish fan, mate, and a lot of our players struggle for first team football and then they come on international duty, much like Nico Williams, and they do really well and remind us all what good footballers they are. So what I'd say is Nico is improving. It's clear to see he's improving. Whether his future ultimately lies at Anfield or not, time will tell. But I just want to see an improvement in him as a footballer. And I think Jurgen Klopp is trying him out in a few areas to see if there is a way to accommodate more minutes for Nico Williams. That's the way I read the situation. You streaming tonight, Craig? Yep, 8:45. Myself, Steve Bland, and James Redmond. Nico's an academy product and he's good enough to be here. That's enough for me, said Tobias. Yes, and he looks like he's improving, Tobias, which is the most important thing. You want these lads to improve. You want them to challenge. And look, it's difficult. You look ahead in the team, you see, even if we're talking about him as a winger, you see Salah there or Hendo on the right side of midfield and Elliott to come back in, maybe taking the right side of midfield spot. Then you look at right back, you see Trent Alexander-Arnold. So it's very difficult, even if we move Nico around, to see where he could potentially get regular minutes, like not just coming in to give somebody a rest. So, look, we were saying the similar thing about Kostas Tsimikas. Now look at it. Kostas Tsimikas has taken his opportunities, and it took a while. Kostas Tsimikas was about a year of not really, a little bit, in, out, injuries. And now look at him. He's after upping his level. He's after showing us all that he can do it consistently. He's been part of 7 appearances with 7 clean sheets and 7 wins. And I wonder, maybe Nico does the same. Who knows? Maybe if Trent picks up a knock, Nico Williams puts in 10 games and we go, Jesus, this kid is amazing. These are the things that can sometimes be the difference between ultimately having a career at a top club and not. Sometimes it isn't about your talent. Sometimes it's just as lucky or unlucky as somebody picking up an injury. It's a cutthroat business, isn't it? And it's really difficult and it's really hard and, cruel to have these open conversations. But look, football is littered with stories of people, who took an opportunity. Curtis Jones, another good example, took his opportunity when it came his way. I agree, Dan. Trent is too good, but Nico has to have something about him from within to say, I want to break into this team. I will prove that I am as good as X, Y, or Z. And that's a big call. I know. It's a lot of self-belief to want somebody to have. But look across the other side. Look at Kostas Tsimikas. What is he? 23 years of age. He hasn't shrunken away from the fight. He's taken his opportunity. And maybe training with Robbo week in and week out has improved him. Maybe they've improved each other. And I don't see any reason why, with Nico training with Mohamed Salah, training with Hendo, training with Trent, down that right-hand side, why Nico won't advance from all that high-level training. So, what else we got? Costa's 25. I thought he was 23. I thought Robbo was 27 and Costas was 20. Either way, 25, 23, sorry. If he's 25, then he's right in the peak for left backs, by the way. Full backs, the peak age is 25. So technically, Robbo's over the hill with regards to the absolute peak. We spoke about this last week. Robbo's not over the hill in any way, shape, or form. But if you were to go off, the statistics for when players in each position reach their peak, 25 is the fullback one. So, yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm thinking Trent is 2 years away on the other side. My apologies. Yeah, so Kostas Tsimikas now is technically right in his peak. But look, Robbo's not over the hill. Jeez, to even suggest that Andy Robertson is over the hill is madness. Robertson, if he's back for me, keep Costas for Southampton. Yeah, that's an interesting shout as well, Bish. What I would say is my thinking would be just give Robbo a bit more time, just to make sure he's really up to speed. Maybe we could give Kostas Tsimikas the first hour against Porto and then bring Andy Robertson in for the last 30 minutes just to see how he gets on. So, look, it's all good headaches, you know what I mean? They're all lovely headaches to have for the manager. 27 isn't peak years, mate. Elvis, there's no such... Oh, God, how do I say this? I know the answer, Elvis, because I've literally done a whole show on this dude. There was an article in The Athletic last week where people spoke about the different peaks in different positions. So, as an example, fullback's peak was 25. Central midfielder's peak in an advanced position was 25. Wingers' peaks were 27 to 29. Goalkeepers' peaks were a little bit younger. So, there you go. If Robbo's 28, then he just turned 28. I'm fucking almost certain he's 27, by the way. I mean, he was 27 the other day when I read an article about him. So yeah, it varies. Different age groups have different peaks. I was actually shocked to see that the fullback peak was 25. That really did shock me, because I would have thought you need a little bit more maturity as well as the explosiveness in the fullback area. So I would have actually thought that Robbo was right in the peak now at 27. But yeah, to see 25 was mad. Yeah, it does matter in each position, Elvis, which is intriguing, isn't it? If you have a chance, mate, I would say look up the Athletic, the article the Athletic did about it, because it's very interesting, Elvis Stella. It gives some great insight, mate, into why some players are anomalies. Like, for instance, Messi, Ronaldo, Mohamed Salah, he'll be an anomaly. He will be doing peak numbers way past the peak year. So, yeah. Suxy said he is 27, so there you go. I knew Robbo was 27. I knew I had to get one of them right eventually, do you know what I mean? I had to get one right. So yeah, Robbo 27, Trent on the other side still to come into his peak. So yeah, all good. We're getting caught up in small little details here, folks, but I love it. I love it. I love that you're all shithouses. Well played. Josh said, I love Kostas Tsimikas so much. She's blown my expectations out of the water in the best possible way. Yeah, it's a beautiful surprise. I'm the same as you, my man. I'm absolutely buzzing that Kostas has upped his levels and is now challenging. Because look, some people will think Robbo has enough credit in the bank to continue as the first choice, and that's absolutely fine. It's all about opinions at the end of the day. Others will think that this fresh-faced, full of energy steam engine of Kostas Tsimikas will maybe be there or thereabouts. It's beautiful. I love it. And look, I'm not going to hate on anybody. If you want Robbo at left back, There's a good reason for it. If you want Costas at left back, there's a good reason for it. And I think we should, more than argue with each other, I think we should just enjoy the fact that we have two top level left backs at the club. What was the score in the Arsenal match? Why, Liz, I think you'll find, my friend, that it was that many to bagel hole. And your boy Craig, I promised you a couple of things for the Arsenal game. Did I or did I not? I said to you we'd score 4. I said we'd concede once. I was wrong on that. But I said we'd score 4. We scored 4. I promised you Sadio Mane would score. Sadio Mane scored. I said I had a feeling Salah would also score. Mohamed Salah scored. So, do you know what I mean? Call me Mystic Mac, because I'm bleeding predicting these things. Bagel hole. Yep, that's what they got. A big dirty bagel hole, Liz. That's all they left Anfield with. What did I think about Oxlade-Chamberlain at the weekend? I thought he was very good. Credit where it's due. I thought Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain put in a very good, disciplined performance. And look, the word disciplined is key to what I'm talking about here, because one thing that summed up the improvements in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's games recently had been the situation where he tracked back to provide cover when Saka had that header and Oxlade-Chamberlain had that brilliant block when he raised up his foot and blocked the header from Saka. That's something I don't think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain did a year ago. So I think these are the little things, the tactical rigidness that Klopp is trying to get into his game at times. And I think this is a clear sign that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is listening, that he's evolving as a footballer, and I think Jurgen Klopp will notice this. So I think if you're Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain right now, you have every right to be proud of yourself, because I think he has improved. I think he has. And look, his fitness has been out of unquestionable this season. He's been available. So look, signs are looking good for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And again, I think this is just another very good performance from some very good performances recently. So yeah, I'm delighted for Chamberlain. And not as delighted as Chris is, by the way, because that's a whole new level of excited. Though I think Origi will play against Porto. Well, did he miss the last game because of an illness? So I know he went off against Belgium, or excuse me, against Wales with a dead leg, but I think he was ill for the game against Arsenal. So if he recovers from his illness, I fully expect Divock Origi to start against Porto. I would have started him against Arsenal if he was fit. So look, if he's fit, absolutely, I think he'll start. And I think Takumi Minamino will start as well, because what more does Taki have to do? 48 seconds after being brought on as a substitute, there he was at the far post, tapping in a lovely cross from Trent to get himself a goal. And look, what impressed me about that Takumi Minamino goal was a couple of things. One was, of course, that he was in the right position. Brilliant. But he could have been disappointed, because in the build-up to the goal, I think it was Hendo played a lovely through ball. Sadio Mane had it on the edge of the box, and it looked like he was going to roll into Takumi Minamino first time. Ball kind of got caught under Sadio's feet a little bit. He turned back around, played it to Mohamed Salah, and at that point, it would have been very easy for Takumi Minamino to switch off or feel a little bit disheartened that Sadio didn't roll him in. But he didn't. Even though he was only on the pitch a matter of seconds, he stayed focused. Salah rolled it out to Trent, and Taki made a perfectly timed run to the back post. That speaks volumes for me. So full credit to Takumi Minamino for that, because it was top notch. When you don't get many opportunities, you've got to take the minutes that you get, and Taki did that. So fair play to him. Dave, thank you for the super chat. Said 39.1 is peak age for bald commentators. I believe that is the case, Dave. Yes, but don't worry, Dave, because I am the Mohamed Salah of commentary, mate. I will go past the peaks, dude. I will still be in my peak at 39.2, 39.3. I will be breaking the mold, mate. You know what I mean? But you are correct, Dave. And shout out to Sinead as well. I hope she's well. Hope she was happy that Mohamed Salah got himself a goal at the weekend. Ryan said, Craig, do you know where I can get the LFC away kit? Can't find it anywhere. All I see is 9 to 10. It's the most popular away kit we've had in a few years, dude, and it keeps selling out every time it gets restocked. So yeah, I don't have an answer, mate. I don't, honestly. I'm lucky, and do you know why I'm lucky? My son is 9, so 9 to 10. I'm sound on that one. So yeah, I don't know, mate, to be honest with you. But hey, look, I have a question for you guys in the chat. I want the Premier League ball, the yellow one. I want to buy one, but I do in my fuck want to give them €149.99 for the ball. So can anybody help me out of maybe finding a moody version of the ball, or has anybody got a hook up with Nike out there that they could maybe, get Nike to send your boy a Premier League ball? Because I really, really, really want one, but I will absolutely not be able to look in the mirror if I part with €149.99 for a football that will never be kicked, because it won't be. It'll be kept up in the house here. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions, lash us an email, contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. If anybody out there works for Nike or anything, they can hook your boy up. I'll make sure you get your promo, don't worry. Dave said Sinead was very happy that Mo got his goal, which, it's mad, Dave. Genuinely, when Mo scores now, hand on heart, I always think of your daughter Sinead and go, Sinead will be happy. When Dave or his missus are tucking Sinead in tonight, she'll go to bed knowing that her hero scored a goal. Genuinely, I do. And she, do you know what, Dave? I've always been Team Sinead since she stopped you from buying the Pepsi Max, mate. When you sent me the picture of you guys in Tesco and Sinead saying, no, Daddy, no Pepsi Max, Craig said Diet Coke. Hero. It's hero. It's a hero you're raising. Or should I say a heroine? Because she's a young lady. Did you just say €149.99 for a ball? Ryan, I did just say €149.99 for a ball. Or, if you're in England, £125 for a football. Yes, I did, mate. And I remember being over in Florida a couple of years ago, and I was in the Adidas discount store in Orlando, and I remember seeing the Champions League ball, and I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. And I said to your man behind the counter, how much is that ball? And he said $120. I was fuck right off. $120 for a football. So, you know what I mean? There'd be a black market now. With balls would be going into crowds, lads would be putting them up on eBay and all. 150 quid for a ball. Any news on Bellingham? We'll do all the transfer talk and stuff tonight, Ellis, mate. We'll do all that stuff tonight. This is just the promo or the preview for the game. Look, I'm going to switch back into the team news because people will be coming in late and they won't have seen the 11 that I predicted for the game against Porto. So look, I know people are going to want loads more changes than I have here, but genuinely I think this is similar to how Klopp will go. So I've got Alisson in goal, Nico at right back, Costas at left back, Van Dijk and Canade in the centre, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Fabinho and Jordan Henderson in midfield, Taki Minamino, Divock Origi and Mo Salah, and I've gone with a 2-1 victory for the Reds. So that's what I'd go with anyway. What's this? You're a top blow, Craig. Thank you, Yasmin. That's so very kind of you. I'm not too bad. You know what I mean? I'm not too bad. And also, I've a little bit of good news. I should probably wait for Chris on this one, but I have a little bit of good news. So one sec, let me swap it back. I am delighted to say, ladies and gentlemen, that we will be partnering up and working with our friends at LFC Transfer Room moving forward. So we'll be doing some cross-promotional stuff. There'll be some pieces on Anfield Agenda going up on the LFC Transfer Room site. I'll be appearing on their podcasts occasionally. We'll be bringing some of the guys from the LFC Transfer Room on to talk about the January transfer window, and we'll be using them as a resource for transfer stories and transfer information as well ahead of the upcoming January transfer window. So it's been something we've been working on behind the scenes for quite a while to try and make a good fit for both brands. And look, I love the guys at LFC Transfer Room. I love the content that they put out there with regards to the Twitter account, their website, and I think working together, I think we'll be able to give you guys the best type of content that you need ahead of a really busy, hopefully, January window right across the board. So we'll be able to work with the guys with regards to Liverpool stories, non-Liverpool stories. We'll get access to their tier system as well of journalists and stuff like that. So it's just another partnership that we think and they think makes sense, and we're very proud to do so. So yeah, delighted to be working with our friends at the LFC Transfer Room. So make sure you keep an eye out because there'll be some video content going across both channels, some articles, some podcasts, lots of stuff as well. So if you haven't already, if you're on Twitter and you haven't followed the lads at LFC Transfer Room, please do. And again, check out the website as well because we'll have lots of great stuff going forward with the lads as we look to keep building what I keep saying from day one. We want to provide you guys, Liverpool fan base, with a one-stop shop for all your LFC transfer and all your LFC news and all your LFC watch-alongs And we don't want you to have to go around 50 different places. We want it all to be on Anfield Agenda, and we want you guys to enjoy it. So, yeah, we're going to keep working away, and we're going to keep trying to grow Anfield Agenda because we think you guys deserve the best, and we want to try bring you the best. So, there you go. Right. Do you reckon Naby will move on in January? I don't know about January, Josh, but I think there's certainly a conversation to be had in the summer around one or two positions in particular. Right, look, I'm going to go, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back at 8:45 tonight. It's going to be a belter. Don't miss it. 8:45 tonight. Myself, Steve Bland and James Redmond. It's going to be absolute fun as always. And another few announcements are going to be coming up over the next week or so as well. So don't be missing any content. Make sure you've got your notifications turned on because we're working hard to make the channel better and better and better. And we'll have a couple more announcements coming up in due course. So look, love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you back tonight at 8:45. And let's have some fun.